everyone, I hope that you are well. My name is Christianne and welcome to my channel Backpacking Bananas. For the past month I have been backpacking around Thailand with my boyfriend Jeremy and we are currently on the island of Koh Samui. We actually decided to settle in Koh Samui for a few weeks. One, to take a little break from the constant travel, but also because on Koh Samui we had a mission and that was to learn Muay Thai boxing. In the upcoming videos you will see our 2-week progression going from absolute beginner boxers to absolute Muay Thai legends. Okay, well maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. Anyway, we of course still had a lot of free time on Koh Samui when we weren't training, which we wanted to take advantage of to explore a little bit of the island. It is the second largest island in Thailand after Phuket, and there is quite a lot of beautiful places to explore. But before we get into that, I'd like to introduce the sponsors of today's video, Surfshark. Surfshark are a VPN which stands for Virtual Private Network, and it's something that we should all be having on our devices in 2022. It is particularly handy for me as someone who works online, because if I'm ever faced with the dreaded error message that a certain service or media is not available in your country, with Surfshark switched on, with the click of a button, I can virtually switch my device's location to a country where that service is available. And even if you're not working online and you just want to watch Netflix, you can use Surfshark to access whatever country's Netflix collection that you desire. And a pro tip, switching to the US for this gives you the best quantity of shows in the world. A VPN is also super handy on the road to turn your Wi-Fi connection private. This is very important because without a VPN, if you are connected to a public Wi-Fi network, like in the airport for example, your device is at risk of being hacked. And that is just a pretty fast way to ruin anyone's trip. Surfshark are giving you guys an incredible discount of 83% off plus an extra 3 months for free when you use my code backpacking or using the link in the description. So the first beach we came to was a little hidden gem recommendation, one right up on the north side of the island. As you can see, this beach has a name. It's in Thai, so unfortunately in my 3 weeks in Thailand I've not learnt to read Thai, so I don't know what it says, but I guess if you want to find it on Google Maps, maybe type in the Mimosa Resort and Spa and you will get to this beautiful beach. Right now it is the end of January and from what we gather it seems like that means it's high tide in most of the island, so you don't get much beach room. However, if you come in other seasons I think there would be a lot more sand on these beaches, let's say. But there's still enough sand for us to sunbathe and we've brought our mask and snorkel, so we're definitely going to go for a swim. Would you like to sit in the shade or the sun?
Sun.
The sun. When you're in this part of the world and you're not cringing when you get in the sea because it's just such a glorious temperature. It's like getting in a bath. The snorkeling is not quite as glorious as I was hoping. It's not fully clear and I don't know whether that's just because of the season or whether it's always like this. There's like these tiny like green particles near the surface of the water. I mean, I'm sure they're clean and fine, but it makes it a much less paradise experience. But still, the temperature of the water, the temperature of the water is just glorious. I love that. Next up we have a much more well-known area, also on the north side of Koh Samui. Here we are at Beau Fu Beach and it seems like no one is swimming here, but this area is very popular because you have the Fisherman's Village Street where there's lots of gorgeous little cafes and restaurants and shops. The water is beautiful and clear, but the sand is not as nice and soft as some of the other beaches. We were continually getting recommendations to visit Koh Tams in this area, so we went to go check it out. I believe it's very popular in the evening for a party, but was a great place to spend a few hours in the afternoon as well. It was quite pricey, but also was very fancy. I of course got an iced caramel latte and sipped on it while swinging in this lovely hanging chair looking out to the water. Now moving a little bit across to Maynams Beach. When we were asking people we've met for recommendations, almost everybody recommended Treehouse Cafe or restaurant. It's quite easy to find on Google Maps, but you do go down this dirt road, and we were told this, that seemingly leads nowhere. Fortunately, there are little signs that say treehouse along the way, and so you are prompted. But it brings you out to this gorgeous rustic cafe right on the beach. We got lucky to get a seat, which is literally one of the ones by the ocean, and the food looks so good. There's so much to choose from. I'm gonna have 2 of the best sellers. The mango raspberry smoothie, and apparently it's mango and raspberry season, which is 90 baht, and the hummus wrap, which is 130 baht. And I'm also very tempted by this, the spinach and feta spring rolls, homemade, 120 baht. They sound amazing. Ta-da! Here are the spinach and feta spring rolls. Ooh. Really good. And finally, we've got the hummus wrap with cheese and crispy chicken. This is Maynams Beach, one that I've been wanting to come to for a while now, and it's, I'd say, probably one of the most popular beaches on the island. Well, as far as recommendations go, a lot of people recommended us to come here, as well as they did to Treehouse, and Treehouse literally backs up onto Maynams Beach. So we're just taking a stroll down now. It's a really hot day today, the hottest that we've had, about 33, 34 degrees. So we're definitely going to go for a dip in just a second. The water is not actually as clear as you might think here, but the temperature is glorious, and also it's just a really lovely sandy bottom, so it's nice to walk out, soft underneath your feet. You can spend hours in the sea. The sun's kind of going down now. We've just had an iced coffee from this cool Jamaican bar, and taking use of their sunbeds, which is very nice. I just got an iced coffee which costs 50 baht. So very good prices here as well. And as you can see, into the evening, a lot of the locals come out and have a swim. You don't see them so much in the middle of the day, but in the evening they come and enjoy the ocean. Next up, we were exploring below the Chowing Beach area on the east side of the island. We were very keen to check out the neighbourhood around Lemai Beach. Jeremy found this place online called Pure Vegan Heaven, which is quite close to Lamai Beach. Neither of us are vegan, but we both tend to agree that vegan food is just really tasty, because they often compensate for, you know, not delivering meat. They make everything else extra tasty, so we both do enjoy a vegan vegetarian meal every once in a while. I've gone for the breakfast burrito, which has rice and quinoa and pico de gallo and some other delicious things which I can't remember, some garlic aioli. We've also gone for some roasted sweet potatoes with some sauce. Oh my goodness, it all looks delicious. Got myself a nice little iced caramel latte. We've come to Siwa Latte Beach and Eatery. Just the fact that it had latte in the name made me go, oh, I reckon they do a good latte. And we thought when we initially saw it that it was going to be super expensive because there's these lovely yellow bean bags, but no, for an iced latte I think it was 70 or 80 baht, which for this location on the beach, I think that's a really good price. Jeremy's gone for a citrus iced latte, which is like coffee, and then instead of milk it's like you've got some kind of lemon syrup. Now, right on the south side of Lamai Beach, you have some very famous rocks here in Koh Samui, named Grandmothers and Grandfathers Rocks, I think, and you'll see why very shortly. Grandfather's Rock. And which one do you reckon is Grandmother's? That one? That one is definitely Grandmother's Rock, and that's Grandfather's. Isn't that nice? And just nestled behind these bushes, you have a bar here. It's called Rock Bar, and it seems super cool. Quite close to Lemai Beach, you have a famous waterfall, so we drove back to the neighbourhood a few days later. We really wanted to come here to Annie's Sweetery and Eatery, but unfortunately, don't know if you can see this, but it's closed. Literally just closed for 1 week because I guess they have a COVID issue. What a shame. But this place, the Pure Vegan Heaven, is still open, and this is literally just down the road from Annie's, and we went here the other day and it was really delicious, so we will go again. It came to our attention that we had not actually done any exploring properly in Koh Samui. There is a lot of waterfalls on the island, and so today, despite the fact that it's bloody hot, we are going on our first little waterfall exploration hike, and we've decided to go to the Na Muang Waterfalls. We believe that there is 3 of them, all in one hike. I looked on all trails, and there's a hike which takes you to all 3, and the whole hike altogether is 1.7 kilometers, but we're 100 meters in, and I think there's going to be a lot of elevation, so harder than it might seem. But the pictures look beautiful. Throughout the time we've been in Koh Samui, it really hasn't rained much at all, so there might not be much water. We can see it in the distance. So that was the first waterfall, though I actually think that one's called Na Muang 3, and then we go on to 2, and then we go on to 1, and I think 1 is the best. Save the best till last. 2. I think it wants to take us to number 2, you know. And 1 minute later, Na Muang 2, ladies and gentlemen. So the walk carries on, and I don't know if you can see this, but I think we might be going up there, which, if the camera can't pick it up, that's very steep. Oh my goodness, this is the busiest site we've seen in all of Koh Samui. So this is the final waterfall, and the reason it's so special is because, ta-da! What a beautiful view. This spot is amazing. I just got a photo here because you can get a nice little photo in there with the beautiful view. It's refreshing. It's not freezing. It's actually not as cold as I was expecting it to be. I don't know why. I'm used to swimming in waterfalls which are like icy cold, but this one is a glorious temperature. Super refreshing. So we were following this track on all trails, which shows that you can do like an entire loop, like you go kind of up to 177 meters and then come back down. However, as we set off from that last waterfall, we passed a couple and they said, "Oh, are you doing the whole loop?" And they were coming in the opposite direction, and we were like, "Oh, yeah, we are." And they go, "Oh, we've just tried and everything was way overgrown. Like, we turned back, it just wasn't possible." And so we decided just to take their advice and go, okay, and just come back down the way we went. I guess we will never know if it was actually doable. Sawadika! Just 2. Been back. Throughout our entire time in Koh Samui, we kept getting the same recommendation, and that was to come to the Jungle Club. We hadn't been thus far, but it's our final night, and so we decided to come because it looks so nice, and we're here, and yes, the views are absolutely incredible. We had to go up a really steep hill on the scooter to get here, but nothing the scooter couldn't handle, and we've got ourselves a really nice little table in the front. Well, I say a little table, we're on bean bags. And we're gonna order some drinks, and then we're also gonna have dinner here. We've been recommended the Caesar salad, which doesn't sound too exciting, though I think I'm gonna get get it. I think that sounds like a really nice, light, summery thing to get. And for the backpackers, we've gone for the monster cocktail, which is for 4 to 5 people, but drinking between the 2 of us, it works out to be cheaper. What did we go for? What was the name?
For you?
What was the name of it?
Dragon.
Oh, the Dragonfly? The Dragonfly monster, which has like gin and other things. Yeah, you're putting the lemon in? Oh, we gotta pour faster. And we have gone all out with some guacamole and some Belgian chips. Very nice. And that was it for our time in Koh Samui. A part of me feels like we could have done even more exploring in our 2 weeks in between training, but at the same time, I do think when you're traveling for a long period of time that sometimes it's just nice to have days where you don't leave your hostel and you can just chill, and it doesn't have to be go, go, go the whole time. If you saw the last vlog, you may realise that this was very easy to do at Lubdi where we were staying. It was just so nice. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!